My name is Willy Wonka.
Then shouldn't you be up there?
Well, I couldn't very well watch the show from up there, now could I, little girl?
Mr. Wonka, I don't know if you remember me, but I used to work here in the factory.
Were you one of those despicable spies who every day tried to steal my life's work and sell it to those parasitic copycat candy-making cads?
No, sir.
And wonderful. Welcome back.
Alright, candy lovers, Potterheads, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into one of the wildest theories out there. What if I told you that Willy Wonka, the eccentric candy maker we all know and love, might actually be a wizard from the Harry Potter universe? And not just any wizard, but either Bertie Bott, the mastermind behind Every Flavour Beans, or George Weasley, the jokester we all cried over in Deathly Hallows. Yeah, we're going there, and by the end of this video I'll tell you why the answer is Bertie Bott. Sorry, George fans, let's get into it.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation.
So, here's the setup. Fans have speculated for years that Willy Wonka isn't just a genius candy maker, he's a wizard. And after all, no one creates exploding candy, teleporting elevators, and edible landscapes without a bit of magic. But who is he? The two biggest contenders are Bertie Bott and George Weasley. Let's break down the evidence for each, starting with George. George Weasley, one half of the greatest prank duo in Hogwarts history, is definitely a strong candidate. Here's why people think he could be Willy Wonka. George and Fred were known for their crazy inventions, conniving snack boxes, canary creams, you name it. These sound a lot like the kind of candy Willy Wonka would make. I mean, exploding gum? That's straight out of the Weasley playbook.
The spring. I told you not to, silly boy.
Your teeth! Boy, that's great stuff.
That's exploding candy for your enemies. Great idea, isn't it? Not ready yet, though. Still too weak. Needs more gelic night.
After Fred's death, George was devastated. Fans theorized that he left the wizarding world to start fresh. Maybe in the Muggle world, creating a factory and bringing joy through candy. It's a poetic way for him to heal. Wonka's playful, chaotic energy matches George's mischievous personality perfectly. Plus, the Oompa Loompa goofy songs totally feels like something George would come up with. So, George has a solid case. But let's take a look at Bertie Bott. Now, let's talk about Bertie Bott, the OG wizard candy maker. If you don't know, he's the genius behind Every Flavour Beans. You know, the ones that taste like everything from marshmallows to vomit.
Bertie Bott's Every Flavour Beans. They mean every flavour. There's chocolate and peppermint, and there's also spinach, liver and tripe. George sweared he got a bogey flavoured one once.
Ah, Bertie Bott's Every Flavour Beans. I was most unfortunate in my youth to come across a vomit-flavoured one. And since then, I'm afraid, I've lost my liking for them. But I think I could be safe with a nice toffee. Alas, earwax.
Here's why he makes more sense as Willy Wonka. Unlike George, Bertie Bott was already famous for magical sweets. His focus was food-based magic, making him the perfect candidate to create Wonka's fantastical candies, like everlasting gobstoppers, fizzing lifting drinks.
Punitor delicatum! It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You stole fizzy lifting drinks. You bumped into the ceiling, which now has to be washed and sterilized, so you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
You're a crook. You're a cheat and a swindler. That's what you are. How can you do a thing like this? Build up a little boy's hopes and then smash all his dreams to pieces. You're an inhuman monster!
I said good day!
Bertie Bott lived in the early 20th century, which lines up perfectly with the timeline of Willy Wonka's factory. George Weasley, his story takes place a decade later. So, unless he invented a time turner, which we know were all destroyed, it just doesn't add up. After inventing Every Flavour Beans, Bertie Bott kind of disappeared from the wizarding world. Sound familiar?
Up the airy mountain, down the rushing glen, we dare not go a-hunting, for fear of little men. You see, nobody ever goes in. Nobody ever comes out.
Willy Wonka's whole deal is about being recluse. It makes sense that Bertie wanted to keep using magic without raising an eyebrows from the Ministry of Magic. Plus, the Great Glass Elevator, that thing screams wizarding technology. It moves in every direction, travels through space. It's basically a magical port key disguised as Muggle tech. Here's another big connection. Oompa Loompas. They're basically rebranded house elves. Think about it. They're small, loyal, work tirelessly in the factory. Wonka's story about rescuing them from Loompa Land was probably a cover story, so he didn't get found out by the secrecy of Ministry of Magic, or get found out by the Muggles that he's a wizard.
Are they real people?
Of course they're real people. They're Oompa Loompas.
Oompa Loompas.
Imported, direct from Loompa Land.
There's no such place.
What?
Mr. Wonka, I teach high school geography, and I'm here to tell you...
Well, then you'll know all about it and oh, what a terrible country it is.
I mean, it sounds like he would just make up fake region, like similar to Forbidden Forest or other magical places. Well, let's be real. Bertie Bott probably just gave them new clothes, said you're free now, hired them under a union contract. Very progressive, Bertie. And let's not forget the golden ticket. These things might as well be magical objects. They somehow find their way to specific kids, almost like they're enchanted to seek out certain individuals, maybe even young witches and wizards, which we know is a thing that happens, which is how the wizards and witches at age 11 get their acceptance letters. Charlie Bucket, for example, he's humble, brave, pure-hearted, sounds like the kind of kid a wizard would want as their heir. Meanwhile, the others, Augustus, Violet, Veruca, and Mike, their punishments in the factory feel like magical lessons, similar to cursed objects teaching people a moral lesson in Harry Potter. George Weasley as Willy Wonka is a fun idea, but it falls apart under scrutiny. The timeline doesn't match, George was more focused on joke products than candy magic, plus it's hard to imagine him abandoning his family entirely, especially after the loss of his brother. Bertie Bott, on the other hand, fits perfectly. He's a candy expert, the timeline makes sense, his disappearance from the wizarding fame aligns with Wonka's secretive life, plus the enchanted factory and magical tickets, classic wizard behavior. So there you have it. Willy Wonka isn't just a genius candy maker, he's a wizard. And not just any wizard, he's Bertie Bott, bringing a bit of magic to the Muggle world. But hey, if you still think it's George Weasley, let me know in the comments. Let's debate. And while you're at it, like, comment, subscribe, share. Until next time, keep candy magical and your theories wild.
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.